Oh, hello, fellow humans. It's Rupert Fotherington Smythe here. Wait a minute. What's going on? Where's Kieran? Oh, didn't you hear? He was stumbling around in the dark and was eaten by a grue, much as it like that old adventure game from way back when. Ah, all right. Well, what's this all about then? Well, Michelle asked a question that I thought I would make a small video about. It has to do with paths and directories and how messy they can get. So let's see. Let's make a best doggo application. Of course, we know that Rosie is the best doggo of all. She's such a sweetheart. Let's make an application that has 2 pages, a home page and a help page. On the home page, it expects a doggo to be put in like this to be fetched with the get. If the doggo's name is Rosie, this is the message that one sees. If the doggo's name is something else, like Ethel or Ith, we shall hit enter and see what happens. Oh no, it says no, Rosie is the best doggo. So that will happen. If there is nothing there, then you get an error message. So those are the 3 possibilities for index. Notice about Rosie being the best dog. Notice that if you don't enter Rosie, reminding you that she is the best dog. And finally, an error message. Of course, the design sucks, but that's up to the artist, and I'm a geek, darling, so too bad for that. Okay, the help page just tells you something about how to use the application. There's a nav bar here with 2 links from one page to the other. Now, we make this application, and our evil boss says to us, "Oh, make an application. Be productive and effective. Make sure that you use reusable pieces. Make sure that if we decide to add a page to the nav bar, we only need to change 1 page, and be sure to use our corporate standard function library." All right, sounds like a bit of a dick, but anyway. Oh, unfortunately she is, yes. But never mind. Now, let's see how we've got this organized so far. Over here, you can see the files are going to make up the application. I put in all of the code except for the paths to the various files. So, the entire application is in a directory called paths. In paths there are 3 things. There's an index file, a help file, and a directory called library. This is the index page, the help page, of course, as you might expect. Open up the library. There are 3 things. First, there's the corporate standard function library file. Then there's a style sheet, and then there's another directory with parts of pages. There's a footer page and a head page and a top navigation piece. Oh, wonderful. Let's start with the index page. And I've removed, as you can see, all of things like this. We'll work on those a bit later. But first, let's load in the corporate standard validation library. We're using one function, getParam from get. Now, we're going to use this require statement here to load in the library. When you can, use relative references here. That was the essence of Michelle's question, actually. It was about relative and absolute references, but when you can, use relative references. For example, this particular file is in the web apps course directory of localhost, and then under validation, and then under paths there's the application and the function library is like that. I could put that entire thing as in localhost. Let's go to, well, localhost is implied, so we'll go to / all the way to the root of localhost, web apps course, / and then under validation down here, validation / pods / library / useful functions. But there's a problem with this. If ever we were to move this to another server, we'd have to find all of these things and change them because it would be in a different folder on that server. I shall type parts here. It would work this way just fine, but it's perhaps not the best. Let's try it anyway. Let's see. It would be let's try it like this. Oh no! Apparently not. I've forgotten something about where this exactly is. But anyway, that could theoretically work. But there's a better way. I prefer to use relative functions where possible. So when we require this file in this file, we create a path that navigates from this file to this one. To get from this file to down to here, we have to get index. Here we are. We have to go into library, then down into library and get useful functions.php. So a relative file path is really like a navigation between this file here and the file we want to include. So we start by going to library / useful functions.php. I shall save that. We shall try again. Oh, look. So far, so good. We don't, of course, have the styles.css file, so that's why that's showing that. But still, the functionality is what we expect. If we look in useful functions, there is a function called getParam from get. So when that is called here, PHP can look into this file there and grab the function. If we were to take the index page, move it to another server, as long as the relationship between index.php and useful functions is maintained, then it really doesn't matter what folder this is in. As long as there is a subfolder called library and another function called useful functions, that's just fine. Oh, very good. Very good indeed. Now, let's go down here and let's put in the footer page. So the footer is in page parts. Let's have a quick look at it. There it is, hardly anything in it. There is an HTML tag called footer, so that's all there is, and no rights reserved. The style of that is defined elsewhere in the style sheet. Let's close that. Now, here we are back in index.php. I will close that one too. Let's put in the path to get this. So go down to the library and then find page parts and then footer.php. I shall save that. We go over here, I reload. Oh, there it is. There is the footer. Yay! Jolly, jolly good. All so easy so far. Very well. Let's work on this. This contains all the metadata for the page. It's down here in this file called head. Now, let us look at this. It says style sheet. Oh, I need to put in a link to the style sheet. Very well. Head is here. The style sheet is up one level in library. So head is in library page parts. Style is just in library. So to get from here to here, I go up one level. Is that not so? Well, wait a minute. I think there might be a problem there. Oh, not at all, fellow. Let's try it. I'm sure it will be just fine. You see, even PHP Storm recognized that when I said ... /s. It said, oh, there is this things you might want to use. And it's correct. We shall use that one. So I hit Control S. And I shall go over here. And we shall now require this in the index.php page. Library /page paths /head. Simple enough. We shall go and refresh and oh dear. That should have been style. I just included a style sheet. What could possibly have gone wrong? Let me do this. Let me look at the source code, which is of course Control U. It looks all right, and there's the ... Let's see. Let's have a look at the styles, and oh dearie me. Not found. How can that be? How can that be? Certainly, PHP Storm found it successfully. ... There. Oh. Yeah, styles, there it is. So what possibly could be going on? Well, I know what it is. When you're actually executing that head file, it's in the context of the page it's included in. Oh, I suppose you are right. Let's look here. When we include this file, this here, this content is injected here. It replaces this. So this path has to work when this code is in the context of this page. Aha! So let us see. When this code is running up here, the path to the CSS file is actually not to go up a level and then find styles. Because this page is in fact in the paths folder, not in the page parts folder. Oh dear. So, if this code was inserted here, the path to styles would be library / oh dear, look at this. That dark yellow says that PHP Storm is not at all happy. I shall hit Control Space and it says, oh, no suggestions. Oh, this won't work. We all know how clever PHP Storm is. Well, I'll save this, close this, go over here, refresh this, and good heavens, it did work. Let me hit Control U. Right. The path from index.php to styles is library styles. Let me click this. Oh, it resolved. There it is. How jolly, how wonderful, how extraordinary jolly. So, when you're doing page parts, you have to use all the paths for the place the code will end up, not the place where it's actually stored on disk. Unfortunately, PHP Storm doesn't know this. It's not as smart as we are. It is stupid software after all. So it marks this as, I don't know what it is doing. It says, I don't know. But actually it works just fine. Now we'll do the same thing here for the navigation part. So we are going to say, go into the library, go into the page parts and find the top navigation bar. Save that. Let's open that over here. Here it is. we need to fill in links. This is the title of each page, and these are links to the home page and to the help page. So if we do this, we say, okay, if we're in top nav, we go up to page parts, then we go up, then we'll be in library, We go up from the library to parts, and there will be the index file. So let's have PHP Storm help us. Oh, how does that look? Nah, it's not going to work. Same problem, isn't it? Oh dear. I believe you may be right. Let's try something else. So, this file is not going to be ever displayed by itself. It will always be embedded in another file. Topnav.php appears here, as you can see. So when we put in paths, we shall have to put in paths as if this code was running up here, which is where it shall be. So we have to put in paths that work for index. So, and also work for the help file, since it's using the same thing here. So it will just be index.php. Oh dear! PHP Storm does not like that at all. It's saying cannot resolve, it can't find it. Oh, but we're smarter than it is. So if top nav is an index, this file down here, the path to the help file the help page will simply be help, help. Let's save that. Oh dear. Let's go over to here. I will refresh this again. Oh dear, look at that. It found this page. It found this top nav page part, but do we have the links right? Let's click on help. Oh dear, look at that. I forgot to, it went to the right place, but I forgot to adjust the links in the help file. We shall take care of that very quickly. This is, of course, library / page part / head. Control / by the way, toggles commenting on and off. Very useful thing. And that will be there. And this one is that. Control / and footer. Sabe. Oh dear, look at that. There's the help page. So help links to home, home links to help. Everything works. We have the styling. We have the library that will get data from the end of the URL. Everything works. So, the lesson here. First, use relative paths where possible. Make a library directory, put stuff in that. When you're including PHP functions, that's the simplest case for the path. You simply require path from this file, index.php, to the library, to the useful functions. When you include page parts, it's a little more complicated. When you create links in the page parts, you have to remember that this will be executing in the context of another page. Top nav PHP is never shown by itself. It's only ever shown in the context of this page, so the links here should work in the context of this page, even though PHP Storm is not smart enough to give you the help that you need there. Anyway, Michelle, I hope that is useful. Although you could use root relative paths, better not to. Best to use relative paths, even though sometimes figuring it all out can be a bit of a head scratch. Goodbye.